And now, your feature presentation.
Everybody, welcome back to the Cult Classic Podcast, Holiday Edition. Cameron Jones here with my co-host,
Mark Nussle.
Jordan Jones.
You know, we try to give you heavy hitters. We try to then soften in between with things that maybe are more of a B level. Last year, 4 Christmases.
I got this, Cameron.
Can't go complete classics all
We're
the
doing
time.
the Tim Allen Holiday Classic, Christmas with the Kranks.
You know, the one you watch every year, Christmas with the Kranks. Luther and Nora Krank are spending Christmas alone for the first time in years after their daughter Blair joins the Peace Corps. With a break in tradition, the Kranks abandon the neighborhood's award-winning Christmas festivities and plan to take a cruise in the Caribbean instead. This doesn't sit well with their Christmas-obsessed neighbors, who are determined to win the annual Best Decorated Street competition, and the Kranks soon find themselves social outcasts because of their lack of Christmas spirit. When Blair decides to return home for the holidays with her new fiancé, the Kranks and their neighbors must find a way to come together to pull off a Christmas miracle. Christmas with the Kranks.
Directed by Joe Roth. Starring Tim Allen, Jamie Lee Curtis, Dan Aykroyd, and Emmett Walsh.
Hey, Disney, do you guys have anybody on retainer? Yeah, Tim Allen made Shaggy Dog, and I think we got Jamie Lee Curtis for the next decade. Can you toss us out a Christmas classic? I wouldn't go that far, but we can make you a Christmas movie.
This movie's definitely a B Christmas movie, but you know, it's not unwatchable, it's just not good. Christmas with the Kranks.
Okay, cast and crew. This film is directed by Joe Roth. This is, I believe, his only really notable film. I'm looking here, it says Revenge of the Nerds 2, Nerds in Paradise.
You don't want to be attached to a sequel.
No, you don't. And America's Sweethearts. Do I recognize that one?
Oh, actually,
we like that.
America's Sweetheart is a romantic comedy with Billy Crystal, John Cusack, and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
John Cusack, okay.
And it's actually pretty funny. Check out the...
We like that movie.
Yeah, America's Sweethearts is good.
It's a Jones family classic for whatever reason.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay.
Just trying to pull out the prickers. It's a good movie.
So the movie's based on a novel called Skipping Christmas by John Grisham.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think the adaptation is...
the John Grisham?
Yeah, I think
John
so.
Grisham.
Yeah. He just wrote a Christmas thing.
He's like, I'm just sick of my courtroom dramas. I'm going to try just this family...
I think it was more like a kind of a Scroogey kind of thing, probably more eloquently done in his novel than Joe Roth did.
I'd imagine.
Did this adaptation of the novel miss the courtroom drama that was supposed to be in it?
Yeah, with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, it was the lawsuit after he sprayed the ice all over the sidewalk.
Side note, sidebar,
Yeah.
I brought it up to Megan. We did watch Miracle on 34th Street, the 94 version. I'm like, hey, Megs. This is a 90 courtrooms drama. We discussed it earlier. It really is. It's just I love the courtroom drama.
And then the screenplay is done by Chris Columbus.
See, that's what I thought. I thought he did the adaptation.
And he's kind of littered all over this podcast, to be honest, just with I don't know, our Harry Potter rants and our Mrs. Doubtfires.
I mean, I'm a fan of most of Christopher Columbus.
Home Alone
and John Williams work together.
Christopher Columbus came kind of from the John Hughes via Home Alone, like coaching tree, essentially. And he kind of works in the same way. Before he got, Harry Potter, he did a lot of directing of kids' movies, writing
a lot of
them.
producing, yeah.
A lot of producing, just, much like John Hughes, he's like, yeah, I had a finger in this movie, or whatever you want to put in this. I didn't. It came out the way it did. I had a hand in this movie.
That's more wholesome. That's more for the season.
I had a knuckle in this movie. Whatever body part you want in this movie, Christopher Columbus was involved.
Music by John Debney. Recently did Hocus Pocus 2.
Okay. I mean,
The Cobbler.
The Cobbler. That Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah. No, a bunch of other shit. Like he's just. I'm just looking through.
Just a composer. We don't know. I mean,
just
it was a fine score. I don't remember it exactly, but it was fine.
It was whimsical at points.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the score if you played it for me in my headphones right now. I really couldn't, but I liked it, I think.
Princess Diaries, Cats and Dogs.
Oh,
Anybody
okay.
here-
There's a lot of kids movies.
Emperor's New Groove.
Oh.
Ooh.
You know, you did like list some big hitter kid movies from
Elf.
our time.
Bruce Almighty. So, I mean, there's some big ones.
Oh, yeah, shit.
Oh, so
He's a composer. He's fine.
Yeah. Now on to the cast.
What's his
starring
name
Tim
again?
Allen. John Debney. We probably mentioned his name just...
Yeah, just glanced over it again. Well,
Yeah.
good for you, John
just
Debney.
glanced over it. On the cast, starring Tim Allen, plays Luther Krank.
Go back and see our episode of the Santa Claus. I think we did that, didn't we? Yeah, had to have.
We did that. We did
I
Galaxy
don't
Quest.
know. We definitely did
yeah,
Galaxy Quest.
Never was a big Home Improvement person as a kid, but, go back and watch Home Improvement.
We'll eventually get to Jungle and Wild Hogs.
It'll be my first viewing of Wild Hogs, but yours too will be like the 20th.
Oh, dude, at least the 30th.
Yeah,
I've
for
gone through
Cameron,
the
for
story
sure.
a million times, but I saw it a lot for reasons that were out of my control.
Jamie Lee Curtis plays Nora Krank.
See the Body Switch movie. Why can't I remember it now?
Freaky
Friday.
Freaky Friday, Mark's favorite role.
Well, go
baby.
back and listen to our Knives Out episode
Or
our
Halloween,
Halloween
if you want
episode.
to, yeah.
Halloween,
whichever you want.
Dan Aykroyd plays Vic Frohmeyer, sort of the neighborhood, just maybe the mayor of the town. I don't think
Now-
he is, but
For you kids out there, you're going to forget that Dan Aykroyd was one of the best comedic actors of his generation, was in Ghostbusters. He's not just a guy that spits out ghost conspiracies on podcasts.
Hey, he has a very nice vodka or tequila, Skull vodka. So, he's got
was that his?
Yeah, that's Dan Aykroyd's.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
He's got his fingers in some things, too. George Brothers.
Partnership, the Blues,
Blues Brothers.
the Blues Chicago, what's
The
the
Blues Brothers.
Yes,
I
that,
said it
but
3 times.
also
Oh.
the House of Blues,
House of Blues.
also
Oh.
a co-founder of the House of
Yeah,
Blues.
he has a fist.
Again,
he has a
didn't
fist
know
in
that.
Yeah.
Jordan
tell you
coming
what.
with the Dan Aykroyd facts.
Right now, we're all hitting on cylinders. We're doing nothing but clicking here.
Yeah, we're also talking about major stars from our childhood. Ghostbusters, if we didn't say it.
The old neighbor across the street is M. Elliot Walsh. Plays Mr. Shield.
What do I know him from? He's familiar. I know him in things.
He's in fucking
That guy's
everything.
in a
He's in
bunch of
everything.
stuff.
But I literally can't pinpoint what I know him from. I think it's just this.
It might be.
Give me a sec.
Too
I'll
bad
come
for
back to him. I'll hit him in like the 6 things we know him from.
I feel like next we got Bev.
Going quick through some of these other ones. We have Cheech of Cheech and Chong. Cheech Marin plays one of the officers. Gary Busey's son plays the other officer.
Oh, I'm sorry. You mean Jake Busey? He's got a first name.
He has a career mark. You
Did I
showed,
say-
you showed Jake
what'd I
Busey.
say?
No, you just said Gary Busey's son. We're just fucking with you.
Oh, yeah, he's got a name.
Stay tuned for Cameron's Contact episode, his solo episode talking about
I
Contact.
kind of like the movie Contact a lot. I watched it like a year ago, and I was like, oh, yeah, this was a fine movie from the 90s.
And-
More importantly, we'll do that Identity movie with John Cusack sometime.
Just Identity, yeah.
We'll do that.
It's spoiler alert. It's Shutter Island. Same fucking movie. Not completely, but kind of.
Spike Frohmeyer is played by Eric Pear Sullivan, who is little Malcolm in the Middle guy.
Dewey. It's Dewey for Malcolm in the Middle and some other
Malcolm in the
kids'
Middle.
movies at the time.
The future is now, old man.
The-
That kid is a bad actor, but because I enjoyed Malcolm in the Middle, gave him a huge pass this whole time. I'm
a
like,
huge
yeah.
pass. Yeah, like a recognizable.
Yeah.
I think he's a voice in Finding Nemo, like the turtle, possibly.
Oh.
Little turtle. The daughter, little daughter, Blair Krank. She's in Freaky Friday.
Yeah, there's
And
her
also
connection.
in Dodgeball.
There's
the
her connection to Jamie Lee Curtis. She's the cheerleader in Dodgeball, and she's the enemy of Lindsay Lohan in Freaky Friday.
That's correct. Then there's a couple. There's the mom from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Caroline Ray.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she makes
She's in a lot of things too.
And then one of the
Can't
Desperate
even-
Housewives, Felicity Huffman. She's kind of the friends of Nora. Rickety Cricket, David Hornsby is in this.
Is
he's
he?
he's the beer drinking son of one of the neighbors.
oh, the one that's like, oh, well, awesome, that guy.
Yeah, that's
You
Rickety
can tell
Cricket
it's him,
from
though,
Always
I
Sunny.
think.
Weird. I just blew by me.
Yeah. And then Matt Walsh is one of a random neighbor. Does that name ring a bell? Look at his face if you like Google him.
Matt Walsh. Oh, is he the comedian that's like a redhead?
Yes.
Yeah, that guy. I know who you're talking
And he
about.
shows up for like one line. Just like,
Oh yeah, Megs and I did say that. If you watch Elf, he's the guy who's like,
yeah, he's an elf.
you got a real nice voice.
He's in Step
like
Brothers.
Mal-
He's in like Reno
he's in Step
911.
Brothers.
Yeah, he's in about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say his biggest role now is probably Veep. Right?
Still haven't seen
Okay.
it. Nothing but good
Sure.
recommendations.
Veep is good.
all I hear from
it's
you.
just as good.
I'll get to it. Let's move it on then on Verified, huh?
Let's do it.
Welcome to the Cult Classic Movie Phone. It's December 24th, 2004, and currently in theaters you could have seen National Treasure, the first one. Go back and see our episode of that. Bridget Jones, The Edge of Reason.
The third one?
It's definitely one.
What is that? That can't be.
It's one of those later ones.
Second one?
Kangaroo Jack, Good Day USA, so not the first one also.
Oh. You want to talk about sequels you don't want to be a part of.
You wouldn't want to be part of Good Day USA? Seed of Chucky.
Again, we're just a big sequel year.
It really, for Jordan, the movie he maybe got to, I can't remember, Finding Neverland came out that November.
Haven't watched it. Dangerously close, though.
The Polar Express. And Disney's, or Pixar's, The Incredibles. But you chose Christmas with the Kranks. You made a huge mistake.
And we fucked up.
I'm not going to lie. I did not
really did.
find a lot of facts on this movie. Did you guys find any?
No, but will just will briefly mention a little bit about Kangaroo Jack. Number one did have Jerry O'Connell. Good Day USA. So this is how bad of a sequel it is. You lost yourself Jerry O'Connell in the sequel. Jerry O'Connell's like, I can't do this shit anymore. Anyway, continue on. What are we on Christmas with the Kranks?
That's it. Just, do you guys have any facts? I have a couple. Do you want? Go ahead.
Do you know the old guy across the street?
Mm-hmm.
We thought he's like familiar, and like this is maybe where I'd recognize him from. Possibly, he was a reoccurring character on Home Improvement.
Oh, okay, yeah, I did see that there were a few people from Home Improvement in this.
Yeah,
again, I wasn't a big fan.
So. Tom Poston, they're both recurring actors, so maybe that's where I'm thinking of. But
that might be.
I mean, he's 87 and he's been acting since like the 60s or something. He's
87, but like is still coming out with stuff, right? Like he's got like a credit from like 2022.
So yeah, like his first credit is 1970, and he's still acting. So you've seen him in something because he's recognizable, and he kind of plays this guy.
On the flip side of that, the Malcolm in the Middle kid retired acting in like 2010, like 3 years later after this movie.
I get it.
It's just such a weird way to say retired. You know what I mean?
When he's like 12.
I'm with you. Call it how you see it. But did you retire? Did you get not
He's
fired?
He's going to be sitting on that Malcolm in the Middle money for a while.
Oh yeah, he's good.
This is like the main fact I have. But if you remember from last week's episode, how the fake snow was revolutionary, a new diaper material that's just plastic. During the filming, I don't know how they got this, but it was reported that the cast and crew ingested over 10 pounds of fake snow.
That's just wild
can't
to
be
hear.
Good. It better be bubbles or something else. Something digestible.
Actually, I read that before I watched the movie again. This wasn't my first viewing, but I was just watching the end where Tim Allen's in the snow, and I'm like, he's just huffing in a bunch of diaper.
Something.
Oh, geez, between playing the Santa Claus and all the prosthetics he had to wear there in fake snow, and then this movie, good God,
yeah, so much asbestos in him.
Okay, just if you're playing along at home, Rotten Tomatoes, and I know this isn't the end all be all benchmark for everybody, but it's a barometer that this is 5% by critics and 38% by users. So,
well, it's not good.
I'm surprised it's not higher by users.
I would have thought so too.
It's a shit movie, but like it's one of those movies you just like. It's a mindless watch, you know.
It's a background. Like,
of course, it's not
like
good.
You said, a step above a Hallmark movie. It's less romantic. It's more just.
You probably haven't watched many Hallmark movies or had them on in the background at your house. This is like 5,000 steps above those. Those suck ass. Sorry if you like them there. Sorry, Mark. I apologize. I know you're a big fan, but they're just not good.
What do you mean you can't find love at a tree farm?
The last one I have is when Luther is stuck hanging from the roof, you can see one of the firemen get hit in the face with a ladder. So be on the lookout for that next time. Just real extra.
I may just go back and rewind it because I've got it for another 48 hours, I think.
Yeah, and everybody loves those kind of goofs. But that's honestly all I found other than Julie Gonzalo was in Freaky Friday.
I'll spit it out because this is kind of like the one thing I bring to this category. Box office.
Ooh,
lay it on me. What do you think?
I mean, still Christmas release with
5% Rotten Tomato score, stars. $96 million.
Okay, I was going to guess 40.
Oh my God.
It's still...
Yeah, you kidding me?
It's still
That'll never
a
happen
holiday
again.
release, though, with major stars in it. They didn't... Based on a good book, they didn't know it was going to be bad.
Well, it's a family movie. It's a Disney movie. It's a Christmas movie with Jamie Lee Curtis and Tim Allen in 2004. That all makes sense. But what I'm trying to point out
was kind of like a Christmas guru at the time. And listen to this: Tim Allen, the first Santa Claus, 94, second one, 2002. Then comes this one. So maybe it's like, okay, he's a Christmas guy.
I do Christmas.
Oh no, I'm not saying that it shouldn't have made it. It's just sad to me that like this is gone. Like there's no movie like this that's going to be made today that makes almost $100 million.
Yeah, no, agreed.
True.
Or has stars in it, really.
This one's fun, though, that I just stumbled across tonight on Reddit. The same, what do they call it, like a backlot, shooting lot for Christmas in the Kranks? Mm-hmm. Blink-182 used it for their music video Up All Night.
Oh.
And you can see, I sent you the article, it's on Reddit, and you can see the exact houses in the background, the exact kitchen, the exact living room. They just used the Christmas in the Kranks like backlot.
That's fun.
So this is
It's
just
insane.
like a studio's backlot that like everybody can use. That's funny.
That they just kept.
Oh, weird. My text says I quit the podcast. What did yours say, Cameron?
There's debtors looking
Yeah,
for me.
that was supposed to be said later. Oh, that's all I've got, though.
That's all I have. You guys want to move it on to questions?
Comments.
Animosities.
Comment, love a Chicago movie. Even if it's a bad movie, I like just seeing things from nearby.
So was it obvious that it was?
They show downtown quite a
they
bit.
show-
You at least
show
see like the Willis Tower, the Sears Tower, whatever you want to.
Yeah, they show some landmarks. And
The
even though
only-
I'm a suburb boy now, still nice to see.
I saw like the ornaments, like some Cubs ornaments. That's what kind of gave me the biggest hint.
Oh yeah. They definitely show the skyline and then
Okay.
have Illinois license plates. Plus, because I just moved back to Iowa, I'm like, oh sweet. So it was a big bonus that it was Chicago. I'm like, oh, not too bad.
Yeah, if you don't know, we're from Chicago, and that's why. Or we're.
It's got to be like for that neighborhood that he's in. It's got to be at least a little bit of commute downtown. No.
Oh, I have some
for sure.
animosities with that at the end in particular that I'll get to. My number one animosity off the bat, just from the beginning of the movie, is these people have never thought of vacationing on Christmas before. It's such a foreign concept to Jamie Lee Curtis, but like, I get that the neighborhood's into Christmas, but like, what do you mean go somewhere warm and tropical?
I don't think that's the issue. I think the overarching issue is that they didn't want to put up lights. They didn't want to contribute to any of the holiday spirit, which I think was foreign to this neighborhood.
Well, that's where Luther's coming from. It seems like she just wants to forget about her daughter because she's heartbroken and a little weird and crazy.
Yeah, a
about
little empty nester situation.
We know where her motivation's coming in, but they've never considered having a nice Christmas vacation instead of putting up with this neighborhood bullshit.
It's Scroogey for sure. It's a little Scroogey.
Well,
Can I say this? I think that if the shoe was on the other foot and the Kranks, one of their neighbors wanted to go on vacation and they didn't put up the frosty, I'd be like, you guys fucking kidding me? We all put up the frosty. So I think that they're being one-sided.
It's the first domino that fell. It's kind of is what you're saying. It's like now, okay, like it's a little scapegoat.
Well, that's what's so kind of crazy too is like everyone is so hardlined in this. Like I was going to call him Scott Calvin. Luther, like just because you guys aren't doing Christmas doesn't mean you have to like be like, I'm not putting shit up for everybody. I'm not dealing with this. Like you can still like passively go along with it. Like the neighbors were even like, we'll put it up for you. Just leave your shit outside. Like you don't even have to do anything or spend money at that point.
The weird thing that Luther, his hard line was, we're saving money by going on this cruise. We're saving $3,000.
$6,000.
Right? But the cruise was $3,000. The Christmas cost $6,000. I would assume the biggest budget line was throwing that party for 500 people, right?
True, but
or your whole fucking neighborhood. So once you cut that out, what are the utilities of the decorations?
New lights every single year.
Well, they've got to fix the lights. But like the Frosty's just sitting in your basement. Sure, let the kids put it up.
Let them put it up. Huge animosity. I'm a little mad too if you're making me store that giant thing somewhere on my property. Everyone in the neighborhood has that somewhere.
Well, that's
in
an
their house.
HOA thing. That's a homeowners association.
Okay,
thing.
that's
taking up a lot
That's
of
the crux of the
space.
question. Mark, is this an HOA? We're dealing with an HOA, and that's on
We
you,
are.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So that's what you get for signing up. Here's a lesson, kiddies out there. Don't live in an HOA unless you want to deal with this shit. And it's not going to be this festive. It's really going to just be the color of your door. But don't deal with this. Like that's the real Scrooge. Why would you own property just to be told how to own your property?
Also,
That's
I
what
ain't
you
about
get.
that.
Cranks.
I thought the Frosties, like during the movie, were like a lawn ornament, like a front yard thing, maybe by the driveway, by the mailbox. It's a rooftop thing. You got to get this thing up there.
Yeah, did not see that happening. That is
Did
hard.
write that down.
Yeah.
Meg and I are like, oh, it just goes in your yard. Just put it in your yard, Crank.
And I'm jumping to the end
It's
a
not that
bit,
big
but
a
this
deal.
is a bit of a warning. Luther Krank just has a noose, just a long noose in his property ready to go for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a little worrisome.
Everybody becomes an empty nester differently, Cameron. He's like, if I don't go on this goddamn cruise, I swear to God.
Okay, so
Also,
I can't live with Julie this whole time or whatever her name
Nora.
is. What's her name?
let's
Nora.
Let's go back. Blair.
sure.
No, let's go back on the money thing first.
Okay.
Okay.
So if the money is the crux of the issue, which I think it is, he keeps saying it's not to even the Boy Scouts.
Money and the
of-
work, I think those two things.
They're going to get tanning. They're getting these tannings. He's getting Botox. He's
Hey, maybe that's part of the 3,000 budget. Maybe
Yeah,
the tickets
okay,
are like
he budget-
$500, and then he's spending the rest on him.
I will say this: I would have, as part of his vacation planning, I used to make fun of people that tan before vacation, but it actually kind of makes sense. So you don't get sunburn.
I was going to ask about that.
And
What do you
can
think
enjoy
about
it.
it? Is that that's a move?
I'll never do it myself just because
I've
I'm
heard of it.
lazy, but, good on the people
I
that
get
can.
it.
Because
So,
then maybe
I
you
get it.
burn the first day on the cruise ship, and you're like a
Yeah,
lobster.
you don't
then
want
you're
to ruin
just
your
fucked.
whole vacation.
So-
fucked.
Animosity comment. This is kind of going back to what we were saying before, but like he doesn't have to also be anti-Christmas and like send out that letter. Like if there's small donations and things, you can still go along with that. Just don't buy major presents. Don't put up the decorations. Don't throw your huge party. At least don't throw the party. But
it's the party. That's it. That's the only thing that could cost so much, right?
and just the letter's weird. Him setting that like.
Just email the memo. You don't have to get don't hand it out like you're such pompous.
Well, that's
Scrooge.
weird too, but just like even like just don't mention it at all. Just like there's such thing as like office politics and just fitting in. Like maybe just still go along to the work party and like.
Well,
the
you got to answer some
elephant
questions
thing.
as a crank. It seems like you got where are the donations? Where is the calendar?
Yeah,
Where
just-
is the tree?
Just donate to the like. If the cops are coming up, I'd be like, oh, obviously, if I'm weird about this, I'm not going to get protected as well as usual. Like you still have politicking and like just you got to do things.
Well, I'd say as far as work goes, your home life shouldn't affect. So you still got to give your coworkers / people beneath you. You got to give them
Yeah.
whatever you gave them last year. You can't cut that out. That's got to be part of your vacation present.
Yeah.
He mentioned like
agreed.
I don't want anything from you. I don't think anybody gave you anything last year. You're the boss. Like
Yeah, no
you
kidding.
gave us
You're
the
the boss.
bonus. We didn't give you a bonus.
Yeah, no shit.
So in a nutshell, the biggest animosity is you don't, and this is one of the things that makes the movie not unwatchable but kind of stupid. You don't have to cancel Christmas. You just cut back, just decorate, and you would avoid all of this.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'll also
okay.
say though, on the opposite foot of it, the neighbors are also unreasonable and a little weird and zombie-ish about them like surrounding the house and like
HOA.
What?
HOA.
What's the guy's
HOA,
name?
Cameron, that checks. That's actually pretty normal.
Frohmeyer's
for
pretty
HOA stuff.
hilarious about it, but just when he's out there with the bullhorn being like, just give us Frosty, just put him in the yard and we'll put him up for you.
Did we see his family at all?
Yeah, he's Spike's dad.
That's Spike's
Yeah, we
dad,
saw
okay.
the guys in there with the hair and he's like, come
It
on,
has to
quick,
be
you
a
gotta help
single
the
father
Cranks.
though.
We show
No.
him. No, I think we had like a buzz cut mom
Oh,
kind
did
of
we?
vibe
Did
in
we?
there. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I do want to just say, is this anybody's first viewing? And did you think it was the one with Deck the Halls or something else?
No, just you.
I was surprised. I got about midway through. I looked at Meg and I said, "Where's Matthew Broderick?
When does he
When's
come
Jordan
in?
hasn't been so surprised since he thought Tuck Everlasting was Huck Everlasting.
This one's rooted in like much more reality, though, right?
Jordan
Did you guys think this
walked
was
out of the theater.
Danny DeVito's not in this one at all,
No,
right?
That's the other one.
I'll be honest. I'm embarrassed. Actually, no, I'm not embarrassed to say this is maybe my I'm in the teens, viewing wise.
Shouldn't be
Teens?
proud, but I've seen Wild Hogs upward to 30 times. So
This is a
Well-
perennial watch for me. To be honest, this is an annual.
Yeah.
I'll stumble across this on like I don't know. Yeah, like December 12th, whatever day we're on right now.
It worked for me. Can I make an argument for this movie? Mm-hmm. The first half is too, even for like a kid's movie, it's too Freaky Friday for me in the way. But the last like 20 minutes when we throw that party together, it's pretty good.
That's true. Nice. You get your like It's a Wonderful Life vibe with everyone bringing stuff. Plus, again, that's almost a free party. They didn't do anything really.
Yeah, cancel every year. Just take the hazing and then you got a free party.
Yeah, for real. I mean, they even put up their decorations for me, which would be a little weird. I don't exactly maybe want people deciding where I put the ornaments, you know?
I'll tell you what I'm sick of. Movies depicting that it's impossible to buy a ham, a turkey, whatever you need for your holiday. I would say even on Christmas Eve, in the suburbs or the city of Chicago, look around. You'll find the fucking ham.
Maybe not nowadays, but I've definitely seen in the past, like where like the turkeys are sold out on like a Thanksgiving.
Was it in like Iowa?
Probably.
Yeah, that makes more sense. But I'm just saying, like, go around. There's probably like 12 grocery stores within. Go to another suburb. But also, like 10 minutes away. I can't
remember if anyone said this, but it's a canned ham. It's not like a freshly baked ham or anything, so it can't be.
Yeah, like Blair, baby. Like, what are we doing? This is just a ham.
Yeah, like maybe they had enough time to get a ham, cure it, and make it that night. Like, it only takes a couple hours. They had like the day.
I think cured ham is just already like
cured.
Yeah. I think you just have to warm it up.
Good to go, baby. Toss in the oven probably for like an hour.
Yeah, maybe.
Damn, I will say though.
Ham. Also, can we get actually this? I do want to move to this category. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Blair.
Sure.
Hey. A little late. Maybe check with the neighbors about a surprise. It's pretty selfish. You joined the Peace Corps. Hey, your parents aren't home. Deal with it.
Well, also,
just be like Blair. We're not going to be there. We spent $3,000 on a cruise.
Why not just?
And your mom's and mine relationship is on the rocks.
They hadn't talked to her before this since Thanksgiving. Like they have no way of contacting her. They didn't mention it at all before in the month leading up or the 3 weeks.
Yeah, hey, baby Blair. Like, since you're not gonna be home, we're gonna take this nice cruise, treat ourselves a little bit. Like, I hope you're doing well in Peru.
And then animosity when she's just going along with it and lying over the phone. Just say, "Oh no, we had nothing planned, but come on over. We'll cancel our plans and we'll have a low key Christmas."
You can't keep stacking the lies, can you? You can't keep stacking the
lies.
Turns
out you can because it has a happy ending. Blair never knew that they were terrible liars.
Well, that's because Blair's not woken up to reality. Like
she's a young kid
she's an only child.
She got engaged 3 weeks out of the house. Her first time leaving.
Only child energy right there.
What's the over and under on that marriage?
Oh, not great.
Year?
I don't think the marriage will go through.
What's the time frame there? So she left
3 weeks
after Thanksgiving.
3 weeks. 3 weeks. Literally 3 weeks.
She says that we were friends in college and then we met somewhere else and we re-met and rekindled here. Is what she explains. But 3 weeks and she's like, fuck it, I'm going to get married.
She wants little kids running around.
I have a comment, kind of an animosity. This is a problem I have with the movie. You can tell that the grass is really green with just patches of fake snow on it. It was clearly shot in like summer, fall, maybe spring.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't say it's the warmest.
I think there were
Christmas
leaves on the trees.
Yeah, it looks just like straight up summer. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I don't think it's the balmiest Christmas movie we've seen. I think that's still gonna go to Jingle All the Way because everybody's sweaty in the face in that.
True.
Movie. But this is goddamn close. It's pretty close. It's definitely not Christmas.
Yeah,
I feel bad for him. Having that said, and I'm sure it's on a backlot, the final scenes.
Oh, it's very magical.
Really does.
That honestly maybe is the best part of that movie is just the aesthetic at the end when they actually put up that whole Christmas last minute and kind of rip off its.
That's where it gets a little too that's where it gets a little too cheese for me.
Oh, that's where I'm into it. That's when I start liking the movie. Everything before that.
Can we talk a little bit about Marty?
Yeah. Santa?
Oh, I'd love to. I didn't write this down, but I mentally talked about it.
I have the biggest question is like, are they trying to make him? Is he Santa?
He's Santa. He drives a shitty bug.
Okay. And then the animation at the end, and then Frosty waving. Like that's where it gets. The Marty
thing is
a
funny kind of bit though of like who is this guy? I do kind of like that.
I like the who is this guy, but like I was wondering if it was just because he was like the Salvation Army Santa umbrella guy that he like knew everybody and knew their goings on.
That's why they all think so. But even so weird, he's just the umbrella guy.
So Megan and I differ. She's like, that's 100% Santa. And I saw the end. I realized that they're insinuating it was because he wrote up. But I ain't buying it. I think that guy's I think that guy's there to murder people.
And like piggybacking off of it.
How many red flags do you ignore when somebody's like, I know where you live. I know your kid. Do you want to come to my Christmas?
He said their address.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
That at all.
Also, what was I just going to say? Sorry, it just slipped my mind. Oh,
he's not a Santa. He's not a jolly fellow. He's not a Santa-looking guy.
Doesn't look like Santa.
Piggybacking off that, also though, the problem with this movie is there's kind of too many things going on. There's that Marty thing. There's the robber scenario. Like it starts as the whole thing is
at the end it gets hectic.
Yeah, where the whole plot of the movie is the cruise, and at the very end the whole plot changes to now we're putting on like it just has so many different kind of I don't even know what to call it. Just like
you need to cut out
3 storylines.
I think we definitely get the neighbor thing a lot more than we need. We have so many scenes. You don't even need to see Crank at work. We got it.
Cut out Marty.
Job.
It's not that type of movie.
Yeah, Marty.
It's not like a let's believe in Santa.
Yeah.
Or lean into
Is it?
But yeah, it's so second thought. Over.
Cut out Marty.
You could cut out 40 minutes
robber,
in the middle.
Cut out.
It's literally not to the last scene when it says the end when you see like the little shitty car go by with the reindeer that you're like,
Marty.
Yeah. Oh,
Marty is Zeke
that
Santa?
guy. Yeah. I mean,
ooh, can I give a big animosity to the robber though, since he is in the movie? You are literally seeing the whole neighborhood at one person's house. Go rob every other fucking house.
Everyone else's house.
Just like
the
you
cops
get what
are there.
you get.
The fire department's
He's not
there.
a good criminal. He's just a criminal. You know what I mean? He got caught already.
I know, but like Jesus, man,
the whole 9th ward of the police department is there.
Question.
Exactly.
Oh God, yeah. Are they on duty? Who's paying them? Jesus, they are never working.
Animosity Spike just letting him out and letting him free roam for.
He's clearly a dumb kid. You know,
he's a dumb
kid. He's a dumb kid.
And then also piggybacking off that, so the robber, stays in the house, gets some food, goes upstairs to rob the joint. Spike's just up creeping around too. He walks into the master bedroom.
I was about to rob them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
What's
say
Spike
that,
doing
but
up there?
Spike seems like I'm going into drawers. I'm checking medicine.
I mean, in his
cabinets.
spare time,
doing a
he
lot
was
of weird
just
stuff.
chanting and getting the neighborhood kids to fuck with that house. So, he's not a great kid. Question?
Having that said, because he's a Malcolm in the Middle, and he is a bad actor for kid actors. He's always
bad.
True.
He's bad.
Still like him.
He gets a pass.
True.
Given a big old pass.
Question: why in the hell did them skipping Christmas make a paper? That was front page news.
It all just goes back to the. This is a community paper. This isn't the Gazette.
I thought it was like Chicago Tribune. The Kranks are dicks.
No, I think it's the neighborhood sort of. What's the high school thing? The Inkler?
The Inkling.
Yeah.
That was our old high school paper.
But it's not like the suburbs official paper. It's like Mark says, like the neighbors are putting this together.
Who and why? What a waste of...
The Smiths just adopted a new golden retriever puppy.
Yeah, that's a newsletter, not a paper. That's a one sheet on like bright green pink, like that's not a newspaper. Also,
the antics aren't enough. I'd also cut out the entire mall scene. It's great to see them in swimming suits and bikinis, but goddamn, that's like 30 minutes right
I'd
there.
agree with that as well. Also, just animosity. I mentioned it before, but Luther's...
You don't want to see Jamie Lee Curtis in a bikini, or what do we...
Well, not too bad.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm all for that. I'm just saying make it a tighter scene. Tighter scene. Have that happen in the house. Let's try on our bikinis. And then let your neighbors see you through the windows. We don't got to go to the mall.
I actually love that.
We don't got to go all the way to the mall.
No, you don't.
30 minutes.
Mentioned it before, but animosity. Luther's getting sued for icing that sidewalk. You're in charge of the sidewalk in front of your property. It's city property, but you have to maintain it. That's a lawsuit.
Another big HOA thing. He's getting sued. Lawsuits are coming his way. The Kranks are fucked.
True.
They're so lucky, though, that Christmas party came together because they were going to get They were going to get kicked out of the community. Which I am siding with. If you sign up for an HOA and you live there, you put up the decorations, you bite the bullet, still go on your vacation, cancel the party, but you got to do. It seems
like the other family went on vacation, and just like it seems like everything was taken care of for him. The neighbors are very accommodating. Oh, also he fucked up that guy's tree. Huge he's like, don't even break one, and the tree is ruined. He's in so much trouble for that.
Oh, this kind of goes along with the ham thing. They did the same thing in this movie with the ham. It's like the only tree that's left is the Charlie Brown tree. Of course, right?
Yeah.
They have no blue spruces left.
Why would you spend $75 on that if you know it just will not work? That's so dumb.
I absolutely know this is a family-friendly kids movie, but I can't stand how Mr. Krank and Spike take care of that tree on the smallest radio wagon. I'm like, guys, this is just irritating me. And this is just, I can't take it.
And again, like the ham thing,
take it.
there might not be a real tree, but you can go buy a fake tree somewhere. There'll be some available.
There are fake trees around.
Home Depot, Menards, Walmart, Target. So many places will have a fake tree that you can doll up quick,
I understand the mom's point of view. She wants to be there with her kid, right? Mm-hmm. She's like, "Oh, I'm missing this. This doesn't feel like a real Christmas. Let's just cancel
tradition.
And then all of a sudden, Blair's coming back. So like, let's get it together. But I would say between the three of us, I'm not speaking for Blair because I bet she wants everything. I want to see all my neighbors tonight. I want to do all this, but like, you could have like a low key. Hey, sorry, we didn't get the ham. We'll have new traditions. You know what
it's funny that none of the real friends of the Kranks came because they already had made plans. It was just the shitty neighbors that like they didn't really like. And so Blair's like, we're like the normal people here.
Do those guys never get to come to the Christmas party?
It seems like they're always there. It's just they're not the ones that they want.
They're not the main ones.
They don't want them there. Comment, the Botox peaches scene is the funniest part of the entire movie. When Tim Allen's trying to eat the peaches, that generally got me to laugh hysterically a couple times.
Yeah, that's classic Tim Allen too, right? That's kind of what he brings to the table.
He's dribbling water out of his mouth. That is classic Tim Allenism.
Do you know what Tim Allen isms I really like though? So after the party actually happens, he goes to the kitchen and pouts. I'm like, I like that. I like that energy.
You got to fake a toast. You got to give something, especially because it seems like he was even holly jolly before that, laughing with everyone setting up, and then he's just back to my cruise. Like we've already turned the corner.
I would almost say he could still go on the cruise. I'm with him.
Compared to like the Santa Claus, like the first one, this is a tame Tim Allen-ism movie. Like because you get the
I agree.
and you get the home improvements. But the part where he's like doing the budget at work and he's like
looking at the
all
numbers,
the faces, doing the numbers, that's funny. I think the funniest part, like physical comedy wise, is Aykroyd doing the jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell.
Dude, actually, else is really funny with the Aykroyd when he's just repeating everything that he says. Party at 8, like he's just yelling out everything.
Rainbow trout or smoked trout.
Smoked trout. Yeah, that actually
part's
is
pretty funny.
Aykroyd's, even though like he plays such a big part of this, he's such a second thought for the movie.
Kind of.
You know what I mean?
Kind of.
He gets buried in it. He gets way buried down.
Well, that's the weird thing is like it's really like a full, like 3-4 person wagon, but then there's a lot of these reoccurring characters. Like even the tanning place, like receptionist, she's at the end. It's just sort of these reoccurring characters. I don't know.
I have an animosity that I think Jordan's gonna like. This has to go to good old fashioned. Can't get to O'Hare that quickly. They are picking Blair up from O'Hare at 8, and the party is at 8:30. That is what they set up. Granted, we know the cops went to go do it. And animosity, if I get off a plane and the cops are there with a sign waiting for me, my parents are dead or I'm going to jail. Either someone's dead or I'm in trouble.
Keep moving.
She's like, shit, Enrique, I knew we shouldn't have brought back that yay from Colombia.
Yeah, I'd be pretty concerned. I would not jump to
that Peruvian
my parents
cocaine.
Throw out all the stops. What?
Yeah.
Also,
this doesn't seem like them.
This is 2004. So like she has maybe a cell phone, but it's not reliable.
True.
Plus, you can't call until 9 unless you want just incredibly awful rates. It'd just be a tough go.
And
do you want to hear an animosity I have that you probably won't ever remember?
An onomatopoeia? What did you say?
Jesus Christ! You guys smell burnt toast or just me? No.
That's my left eye.
At the end when Tim Allen's looking into the window from outside and like reflecting on everything, they are jovial in the window pane and just like chattering up for way too long. There's no break in the chatter.
Yeah, it's
rhubarb.
It's theater talk, Jordan. They're not talking.
What do you mean? You've never been to a Christmas party, Jordan? There's a lot of jovial banter.
Yeah. Not an HOA Christmas party.
True. Well, it is like,
that guy in the
I
corner.
see that he didn't put up the tinsel, the red. It is a lot of that, Jordan. That's what they're talking about.
Also, how do you go about making a new Frosty for the next year? Because I mean,
we ordered those 15 years ago. That company's not around anymore. They don't.
That company's
ballpark.
And
those are
again,
20-foot
they
Frosties.
mentioned that there's a spare Frosty somewhere. Why didn't they just stick that on his property anyway? Like, just take care of it.
Oh, is that a spare?
At the end, they say we have a spare.
Oh, yeah, because it's broke, right?
Now that pisses me off. Now just sneak up on the top of the Kranks roof and put it up there.
That's what I'm saying, man. Just do it all for him. Just take care.
That's maybe the biggest animosity of the movie. Didn't even hear that.
But actually, the biggest he should Mr. What's Craig's
Luther.
first name? Luther should have let them just decorate. Just
Yeah.
that's it. You avoid all of this. It's all
we're
avoidable.
gonna come back to touching on this again, but you just gotta put up the same lights from last year. I know they're sitting in the basement with Frosty.
Yeah,
they're just
you're
down
gonna
there.
feel so much better
Also-
leaving your house knowing that the neighbors aren't going to be fucking with it when you're on the cruise because you were accommodating. Now people are going to fuck with your property.
Although, speaking of neighborly things, his across the way neighbor that gave him the tree, that's a solid.
Oh, that's a
He's like, I'll
super
give you my
solid.
key.
Yeah.
That's like a good neighbor.
I would have been like, hey,
respect that
bro,
guy.
I'll give you like $20 to chip it on the fake tree you can go get right now. No.
I'd be like, why don't you
yeah,
put
yeah,
up
here's-
Frosty
I've
and
got a-
shut the fuck up?
I've got a gift card to like Bed Bath &
Yeah,
Beyond.
like, bro,
let's
there
figure
are
this
better
out.
options than you fucking up my tree. Yeah, nah.
Are you
Let's
really
put-
hurting
let-
that
let-
bad for money, Luther? Like,
Let's play a game this year. On Christmas Eve, Cameron, you finally get your tree up. I'll buy a ham and we can throw this all together. I bet it's
I
doable.
think we can.
can I just be Marty?
Sure, Santa.
Well, the
Who the fuck
question
this
is,
guy?
yeah, you can go up to strangers and be like, is Blair coming home from Peru?
Yeah, you have to
guys
give me all the
still on
information on
32
all your
Ellis
friends.
Way?
and I'll
Does anyone else
yeah.
feel like it's like a little uncomfortable that the community cares so much for Blair in a weird, like, why do they give a shit?
Yeah, I don't like it. I'm
It's
with
weird.
you.
So she
Mark's-
babysitted once. She babysitted once. So now we have to help the Kranks
Okay, well,
out.
I live 5 houses down. We don't have kids, and she's always just been that girl in the neighborhood. So
Never met her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the most ridiculous neighbor? Oh, we've got 2 turkeys right now, and we weren't even going to do anything with them.
Yeah.
They're already cooking. What the fuck
what are
are you
those
guys
psychos
talking
doing?
about?
That's Rickety Cricket's parents, and you see him. He's kind of like, "Fuck." how's it
well,
gonna-"
if you see though, they're just saying we
get away my
have 2 tin
turkeys.
turkeys. I think they're saying we can throw a spare. Like we made 2, we can give you 1. I think is what they were saying.
What did they make 2 for? They're a family of 3.
1 they deep fried, 1 they made traditional in case it went south.
also,
Oh,
they're
they're
just
just
cooking
sweeties.
at home, and they've left those.
Yeah,
Luckily, the fire department is around.
I'm gonna be like,
no
hey,
kidding.
you canceled the party. I made plans with my family. I haven't seen them in 30 years because this HOA is aggressive around Christmas. So no.
Yeah, we all have a Blair, don't we? They're coming home tonight.
Yeah, we all have Blair. In fact, we don't even like her. But nobody likes
Jordan, she's in the Peace Corps. She's great. She's so nice.
Her
Prior
teeth
to
are
this-
too white for her to be in the Peace Corps.
True. Oh, okay.
I didn't see her armpits, but I guarantee they're clean.
I don't even know how to piggyback off that. So I'm like, Cameron, like, that's what that you know.
He sounded confident.
Let us know in the
He's
comments.
speaking from experience. I don't know the beef Mark has with the Peace Corps, but you heard him. You heard him.
No.
Prior to the snafu, people didn't like the Kranks anyway,
No,
right?
they loved him because they threw a great party and they were accommodating and went along with the fun.
You're right. But they kind of don't like their personality, right? They're
Just
still-
Walter. It just seems like just Walter or the old guy next door, whatever his name is.
Oh yeah, I really hate that. I'm sorry for his wife.
That should be an indoor cat, by the
Oh,
way. Right?
yeah.
She
She
should
is-
be an indoor cat.
She has cancer.
Yeah, and biggest animosity.
Is it? Do we for sure say
they said it
cancer?
came back
Or do they-
again.
Christmas with the
Yeah, they said it.
Christmas with the
They said
C.
it came back the
Christmas
third
with the
time.
C's. Yeah.
Unless she's like, herpes
can
is back. It's the worst flare up I've ever had. You know, I have my good days and my bad days.
Why do
Yeah,
they
that's
hate each
herpes
other?
for
Like,
you.
what is it? Just like it's just little.
I have no
kerfuffle. It's the
idea.
cat, isn't it? I don't know
the
what
cat?
it is.
Oh, I got 3 animosities towards the end of this
Sure.
movie with Emmett and the cat. 1, you can let the cat stay in Emmett's house. You don't have to bring it to yours. You can just change its litter and feed it.
We'll
That's
babysit.
easy.
Yep.
2,
House sit.
I don't think in 2004, after 9/11 or pre 9/11, I don't know where we're sitting in that. You can't transfer fucking tickets the night
You
of.
can't
You
transfer
can get
tickets.
a ham, but you cannot transfer airline
That's
tickets.
the
Are they going to
one
Bermuda?
thing he's
Like, you
confident
can't-
of that's never going to happen.
They're gonna get to the airport and Bev's gonna have a situation. Like it's gonna be horrible. Actually, it's
What
gonna
if
be
She's
worse.
going to die at the
What if
airport
that's
and
an-
trans or somewhere on the cruise platform.
O'Hare's a mess at that time of year.
Oh,
too.
no kidding. What if that's his big troll? He's like, everything's taken care
Clap,
of.
clap,
and
clap.
they
Let him
get to
kill
the
his fucking
airport.
cat.
Yeah, if Bev takes
I
that
respect
trip, she's
that.
dying on the trip. Like it's a last. Maybe that's why it's such a big gesture. He's like, hey, why don't you die on a good note?
Listen, you can get a
do this
Christmas
right,
tree on
Walter.
Christmas Eve. You can get a ham on Christmas Day. But you know what you cannot do? You cannot, especially pre-internet, get a swimsuit. Not during the not during
True.
swimsuit season. It's
You're
goddamn
going to need
impossible.
Amazon. That's actually pretty true. That's just not going to be in stores.
They're just going to be wearing sweaters.
Maybe
and
like a
tweed
pack
on
sun
the
because you're
Bermuda.
cool and you wakeboard. You know, I don't know, something like that, or like a shield.
Or like at the airport.
Yeah,
They
Emmett's
do
going to
that
have
type
to
of
wear a
stuff at
pack
the
swim
airport.
board
Yeah.
shorts, though. He's going to have to look like a teenager,
Well, he
like a goddamn narc.
Then he found a banana hammock and he's just going with that. So
Well, Jordan,
Oh,
knowing you're not going to go on a fucking cruise without water shoes.
True.
Yeah, I stand stead on that. Anywhere your feet can get cut, wear water shoes. That's it. That's all
You're
there is
just wearing
to
the
it.
water shoes down to the lobby. You're not even wearing them in the water.
I'll tell you a funny story about my water shoes, right? So back in Chicago, like the drains in my neighborhood when it rained heavy would like get backed up. So it looked like our car was about to get flooded. I put on the water shoes. I did some
you
like
didn't.
ankle walking.
No, you
and I moved our
didn't.
car. Yeah, I'm like,
You did it.
It was
And then he
deep.
got the
It was
worst
getting- it was,
affection
like,
from
flooding.
a cut on his foot because it doesn't stop.
God, yeah, you
Yeah,
still
but
got
think
tetanus.
how worse it would have been if I went
That's
barefoot.
true. It's a flip-flop situation maybe at that point. With that there, do you guys want to move it on to recasting? Recasting. We're going to keep this one kind of tight, but I did have some bottom barrel ones. Did you guys do the cops?
Not even.
No,
Makes
but I
sense.
could probably come up with like a team.
Makes sense that you wouldn't. I did Gary Busey and Keanu Reeves from Point Break.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
funny.
I just kept
Okay,
another Busey.
fine.
You know,
I almost don't want to go just because I like imagining that.
that just popped in my head when I was watching it. We could move on. Did you guys have a Walton Bev?
I had a Walt. I did not have a Bev because
That's fine.
I did like an old sort of like senile Chevy Chase.
Okay, he's hateable nowadays. Kind
Christmas, and he's still in that realm. So
of. That works. I like that.
So mine is going to be part of my my top forecast, right? So this is to play off of my my
Okay.
Mr. Crank. So I am going Gene Hackman.
Okay, I like that.
Did we do the replacements?
Yes, we have.
Nah,
Yes, we have.
Replacements.
You'd be surprised, but we've done most of Keanu
Gene
Reeves.
Hackman is
200th
92 years old.
Oh shit,
92
He's
years
up
old.
there.
Isn't that crazy that he's 2 years older than our grandparents?
That's nutty.
Mine and Cameron.
For Walt, I did someone who's usually a little cheerier in things we like, but he can be mean. Alan Alda. And just to keep it with like someone who I think would work well with him, I did Carol Burnett as the Bev.
I like that. I like Carol Burnett there.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of a
Someone
throwaway.
you think could have cancer.
What about
All
like
right.
what about like a Henry Winkler?
Oh, that could work for me. Yeah.
Henry
sure.
Winkler, Carol Burnett.
Yeah, I like that.
Tough for Henry Winkler to be unlikable, though.
It's
Real
it's
hard.
a funny
Walt
unlikable.
isn't
He's not
necessarily
unlikable.
unlikable.
Yeah, he's
it's
just mean.
that there's a rift.
Okay, sorry. Confrontational
Sure.
then?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
can you see Henry Winkler? Yeah, I suppose
Yeah,
you
you
could.
He could be sassy.
Okay.
How
Okay.
about Blair? Who'd you guys do for Blair?
Alba. I didn't do a Blair, so I just
Okay.
off the top
I
just
did
Alba.
Amanda Seyfried.
Sure.
Yep.
I didn't do a Blair.
I didn't do a Blair.
I actually forgot she was in the movie.
Yeah, I get why.
We asked how deep you went, and you're like, not that deep.
I didn't.
This kid
Not
went
that
the
deep, just
deepest.
everybody.
Frohmeyer, the neighbor. Did you do Frohmeyer, Dan Aykroyd?
Yeah, we did Vic. I didn't.
I got that, yeah.
Who'd you have?
I like mine,
I
so
actually-
I want to go maybe last.
Okay, go
I'll go-
first. You want to
I'll
go
go
last?
first.
Let me
Go
go
for it,
first
go for
because
it.
I don't like
Okay.
mine. No, I actually really like mine. John Goodman. I think he'd kill the
Oh,
role.
that works for me. I think you might like mine. I went another Chicagoan. I went John. Well, I was someone who plays Chicagoan. John Candy.
John Candy. You guys are bringing
Ooh,
all.
I did think about John Candy as well.
I'm thinking of him from Christmas or Home Alone. Essentially, he was like,
Sure.
Mark.
I both like yours a lot. I did Rob Riggle.
Oh, I like Rob Riggle.
Well, that makes sense, obviously, yeah.
Just sort
I
of an
hate
aggressive. He can be the leader of the HOA, possibly leader of the Frosty situation.
All right, I think we are now to Nora and Luther. Who are your Noras and Luthers? Let's start Nora. I have two. Let me first go with Susan Sarandon. I think that's my better one.
I have
that's like
I
a-
have three for each Nora and Luther. And
Yeah,
I
me
don't
too.
know what my combos
And
are.
I'm swinging for the fences. My Luther's Tom Hanks. Who are your couple?
Oh fuck, that's my Luther.
that-
I just thought it's a perfect Tom Hanks movie to make it
yeah,
better.
a good Tom Hanks Christmas fun rom-commy kind of role.
He's not ever. Has he done a Christmas role?
If you consider Polar Express,
the
which
live-
none of us
well,
actually
no, like
count.
a live action.
I
No,
don't
which is weird,
think he's,
right?
Like, not like his traditional rom-commy kind of happy movie.
I bet he just wanted to avoid it. He's like, I do so many rom-coms, like I'm not going to do a Christmas movie, but he would be good in this. And then I just, for fun, because of the Burbs, I just put him up with
I was going to do that too. Now you've got me.
Amy Fisher.
No, not Amy Fisher.
The Burbs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Princess Leia.
Oh,
Carrie Fisher.
There
Sorry,
you go.
Carrie Fisher.
Happens to the best of us.
So I did Tom Hanks, Carrie
Funny
Fisher.
enough, that's what I was going to do, but I was like, I'll back up.
Working against John Goodman. I just think that I
could be
think
fun.
him versus John Goodman would be really
Tom
fun.
Hanks, John Candy, with Susan Sarandon.
Yeah, that would work
Mark,
too.
who do you got?
Madeline Kahn.
Okay.
I didn't want to do Catherine O'Hara,
I like
but
Madeline Kahn.
I wanted to do something adjacent.
I wanted to initially, and I
yeah.
backed away from it. Yeah.
You got to kind of, you got to steer away from.
Hear me out. Is Allison Janney a little too character actor to be the lead?
Yeah, maybe. What do you think of this one, Mark? Have you said both yours yet?
I haven't said Luther, and I'm still looking at my 3. Vince Vaughn, and that's.
Yeah. Okay.
I like yours. There's something in there. There's a combo in there.
He was
between all
busy
of us that
making
could work.
shitty old Four Christmases. He has his own bad Christmas movie.
Oh, and even shittier, Frank Claus.
Oh, actually, yeah, that's the shitty one he made. Four
Well, that's the thing.
Christmases
If this movie didn't even come
Yeah.
out yet or it came out with somebody else, and we did the Santa Claus, and we did the same category, like saying Tim Allen would have been like, yeah, he's already done Christmas stuff,
Yeah, I agree.
you know. So like,
Hear me out.
Anybody works,
I was
probably.
Also, like, I would never be like, Tim Allen should be a Santa Claus,
True.
right? That's why.
But it works so
people
well.
listening at home know that I suck at recasting. I'm not reimagining the role in most cases.
Hear me out. Steve
I'm just talking in Philip Seymour Hoffman way too many times because I think he's a really talented actor.
Steve Martin and Patricia Clarkson. Like coffee, but not spelled the same from Green Mile.
Steve Martin would be great. Actually,
Steve Martin would be
love that.
really good
Patricia
at this.
Clarkson? Huh?
Who
As the Nora?
I like her.
Who's our
I don't
biggest
know.
recasted actor? Do you think?
Well, for a long
Joseph
time, it was
Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt
Oh yeah, it
between
was.
you guys.
We've gotten off that
For a
because
long time, but we haven't done him for a long time.
Should we move it on to Mount Rushmore? Top 4?
Mount Rushmore. Top 4.
Welcome back to Mount Rushmore. Today we're doing B-level Christmas movies. Jordan, you're kicking it off. What do you got?
Mr.
this is a little bit objective or subjective, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I think we all know where we're shooting.
Yeah, we know what we're
I
talking
think we'll say a non. It's nobody's going to consider these classics
Above Hallmark.
and they're not the
yeah.
bottom of the barrel, but they're definitely watchable.
Yeah.
It's a B
It's
level.
background stuff. When
Understood.
it's the fodder to get through the month.
Got it.
And mine is actually might be a B plus for me if I'm being honest.
Oh God,
I'm gonna go The Family Stone. It's boring and I like
that's
it.
not where I thought you were going, but that's
If you
okay.
could get any slower, I'd like it even more.
God, it's such a weird movie. I had a feeling you might say that. Ooh. You know,
You just made me think of another one, but
They don't seem
It's not
like
where I
a
was going.
family. It doesn't give me Christmas feelings, but is it set at Christmas? It is.
I'm going to actually give our previous seasons 4 Christmases with Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon. I've seen it a lot. It's not good. And it has like 4 really funny parts. The church scene when he's like talking to his friend that's now his like stepdad. Like there's just a couple, there's a couple scenes in it
What
that's
is-
really good.
hey, shut the fuck up. Let me take this. He's like,
I will swaddle this baby.
The John Favreau, like,
the baby.
how in the hell did you get an Xbox for under, like, there's some funny lines in
That
that.
actually is really funny.
just not
Whenever
great.
I recast a John Favreau, that's usually the character I have in mind, like a dickish sort of like like
You like the version of him in The
high
Replacement.
testosterone brother. Yeah.
Do you know why that movie though? That is a great like basic cable
Yeah.
TBS, TNT. They gave it to us. They're like, hey, we're gonna keep pushing.
That's
it.
why I said it.
Just
That's what they
take-
did. That's what they
take
did
it.
to me.
And it worked. It worked. You can't watch the classic. Well, some people do. Some people don't. But you can't watch a classic right off the
You got to
bat.
space things out. Mark, what are you
I'm
doing?
going to go something maybe a little lower on the totem pole for everybody. I'm going to go Jack Frost.
Oh, actually, I like that movie a lot. Is that a B? Yeah, it is.
Michael Keaton.
It is a B. Ooh,
Because
What do you
it
think?
has
It's
Keaton
a
in
B
it.
minus.
I think you won
What do you-
that.
what do you want?
No,
Yeah,
I'm saying I
put it
think
in
I
a C?
just like that movie so much, but
Oh.
it's not good, I guess. But I love it.
It's just so whimsical with the fake stuff. I mean, like, it's just so
And
crazy.
it's maybe the
is a good
coolest
snow
that
movie
Michael
for
Keaton
sure.
looks outside of the bat suit. He has the earring. He looks pretty cool in that.
It's got frosted tips. I gotta admit,
His
I have
name's
not
not
seen
Jack
that movie in a hot
Blonde or brunette. It's Jack Frost.
second. Jack
Jordan.
Frosted Tips.
Jack
Yeah.
Frost and tits.
On to honorable mentions. I did want to say Jingle All the Way, but I just haven't. It's like it's a recent happy find of mine where it's we did it a couple years ago of podcast, and since then,
That's why I didn't want to say it. Like that was probably my number one. I really do actually like fucking kind of like that.
yeah,
movie.
me too.
Um,
Me too. But it's definitely a B movie. I get it.
So can I say a B movie? Although I don't think it's a B movie, I just think the people don't know it. And
with Jerry Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Raise your hand if you've seen it.
All I know is Mark.
Because you
I
may
actually
live in.
better for how
and
often he brings
do you
it up.
live in the Matrix? Then I don't know anybody that's actually seen that movie.
I fell asleep
haven't
to it
seen all
once.
of it.
Here's a rule of thumb. That is the most marketed movie that nobody's ever seen. It was everywhere. True. B movie. Jerry Seinfeld made a movie. Could it be any more of a movie? I don't know. Nobody saw it. Mark, what happens in it?
It's my favorite what if hypothetical that I've seen on Reddit. We don't have to get into it now. Maybe it's a banter podcast that we talk about it. I think we've already done it.
It was one of the early ones.
Yeah, probably. Moving on.
Check out Urban Hermit Podcast.
I like doing this at Christmas. I like watching Home Alone 1, 2, and then I like delving into 3.
Oh, I hate it. I've only seen it once since it came out.
No one likes it, but I enjoy the third shitty installment.
It's fine.
Mark also watches Karate Kid 1, 2, then he does jump to Hilary Swank. He's like, what's she up to in the new Karate Kid? Is there a Free Willy 3? Do you jump on that one too?
Of course there is, Jordan. You don't remember that day we watched all 3 in a row at your apartment?
We watched 1 and 2 for sure. I just don't remember 3.
I think we went for the turkey.
You know what? Watching movies like Free Willy 1, 2, 3, or Home Alone, it makes me. I'm not a sneakerhead, but when I watch nostalgic movies, I'm like, oh, I'll buy $500 Nikes.
Yeah,
like,
I get it. I get it.
We all get it. That's how they get
the
you.
Santa Claus 2 and 3. I've actually never seen them. From what I understand, they're pretty bad.
I think 3 is better than 2. Which one has?
I think 2's better
Jack
than
Frost
3.
is 3. I think that's the one that Universal.
Which one has Martin Short?
3, and I think that's the one everybody hates.
Oh yeah, 2 is better than 3. You just don't want Martin Short.
1, 2, 3. I think you go there.
Yeah. We brought up Deck.
Yeah, I think that's pretty.
We brought up Deck the Halls a bunch tonight. That's another, pretty bad Christmas movie.
Have you guys seen the? And I actually haven't. And I kind of wish I had. Maybe I'll go and watch that over the next couple of days. I'll Be Home for Christmas with Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh, funny enough, yeah.
Saw last year for the first time.
Chris just put it on the basement yesterday. I watched most of it for the first time yesterday.
Okay.
You want to talk about a movie that's shot in the summer? Whew.
Yeah, isn't it mostly in like
just he's home.
Oh, he does.
Yeah. So it doesn't. Yeah, that does not have good Christmas aesthetic. But
where are we putting Just Friends?
That's good. It's a good movie. It's an A+ movie, but
I understand, but I don't think it's a classic for Christmas.
It's not a classic
Christmas movie for a lot of people.
It's syndication. It's worked its way up there actually as your TNT TBSs. That is played on TV a lot.
So I think there's a handful of movies, and that falls into it's like an A-level movie.
It helps
but it's not a classic because it's overlooked, and that's how I feel about Arthur.
I think it helps too that Ryan Reynolds popped. So I mean, I think people have kind of gone back to his works.
I've seen Arthur Christmas in a lot of B classifications. I know you don't put it there, but I'm just saying
it does not deserve to be there.
I understand, but it is good.
The Holiday,
it is underrated. Holiday's got too much star power.
I was going to say it, but I knew you guys would defend it. So now that Mark said it, it's kind of a bad movie. It's just a movie I like. It's not a good movie. Yeah. It might be B.
But it's better than like
Bad
this
Santa.
I don't know. That had a pretty big commercial release, and that was popular. That actually might be.
No, I'm just saying it's different than like this whole like kid genre family friendly movie. Like The Holiday is like
that's a rom-com
budget. Yeah,
big budget rom-com Christmas,
and it's found its way into not a true Hollywood holiday classic, but it's borderline.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, even though I still think it's a bad movie, I do love it at the holidays. Thanks for listening to our take on Christmas with the Kranks. If you like what you heard, make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast app, rate and review. For more content, hit up everything on the Majestic Jam Network. I'm Not Crazy, Urban Hermit, a Highwire podcast, and until then, we'll check you on the next one.
Bye.